Hello, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today, most asked breakup question. Asked or asked? Good question, huh? So if you like this video, throw me a like. If you don't like it, don't like it. Actually, share your opinion. That's better than not sharing your opinion. If you want to subscribe to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I have outstanding news for the people out there that say, Mac, I missed your live stream. I wanted to get on deck, but I didn't know you were going live. Here it is, folks. Instagram. It will be posted today in the next hour. It might even already be posted on Instagram. A schedule this week with 5 days, 5 times when I will be going live. You want to go to my Instagram. My Instagram is IG, Coach Mac McCarthy. Should come up. Lots of pictures from living in Thailand are there. Some other stuff. Posted some different videos there too. Instagram, Coach Mac McCarthy. I will post a schedule for you. And I will commit to 5 days next week and be on time on those times. And I actually even put in a time that would be at night for me. So some of the people, Zuki, what's up? Miss you too. So you are in, if I'm correct, Colorado. So if you guys want to get on deck for that, I will be posting that on Instagram. If not, it's already posted by my assistant. So that's good news for you. And there's topics there. So today, most asked breakup question, asked or asked. What do you think it is? I've been doing this for almost 3 years or over 3 years. I'm not sure. I don't have an anniversary date. But you might be surprised by what the most asked question is in the breakup coaching sessions I go through. You would probably think, will they forget me? Will they come back? What are my chances? Should I wish them a happy birthday? I want to write a letter. Is that okay? If I'm not their friend on their terms, will I lose them? So these are questions that come up, and they're reasonable questions. Please visit writemac.com if you have a breakup story you want to share, or if you'd like to book a live coaching session with myself. If you have some kind of trouble with the site, because right now we are in a growing stage of the site. I have something new on deck, folks, with writemac.com. I am developing a platform so that other people that want to be a coach, such as myself, or help people with a breakup, can possibly put a profile up. It's in the infancy of getting there, but we're getting there. So if you have an interest in doing some breakup work yourself, let me know. What do you do when your boyfriend is like a teenager? Should I dump him? Well, how old are you, Mary Clark? Would be my first question. What do you mean by being a teenager? Highly immature? I mean, this is the thing that gets me. You ask broad questions, you'll get broad answers. The most important thing is I would have to know your story, what went down, how they're acting, specific examples of how they're acting. You're 41, he's acting like a teenager. Do you want to be with a teenager when you're 41? I doubt it. So you could answer that question yourself. What specifically is he doing that makes him a teenager in your eyes would be my question. If that's a repetitive behavior, or if that's a behavior that's just, made a mistake or something like that. Repetitive behavior in your late 30s, early 40s, unless there's some catastrophic traumatic event, or you're just having a reawakening, like you lose your job, you hit ground zero. Usually people don't change too much. So you accept what you want to accept. It's up to you. And remember, you got a choice, and you need to ask yourself this, Mary Clark, because I haven't seen you on here before. Where's your power in this situation? What's the alternative to dealing with a boyfriend that's acting like a teenager in his late 30s or early 40s, just assuming that he's in your age range? What's the alternative? To stay with him and coddle him and be a mother to him? I don't know. That's up to you. That's your call. So, most asked breakup question, will they forget me? What do you guys think? Will they come back? Please put it in the comments below what you thought was the answer out of these questions that I threw up here. What would you think would be number one? Will they come back, or will my ex come back, right? Should I wish them a happy birthday? I want to write a letter. Is that okay? If not their friend, if I'm not their friend on their terms, will I lose them? And I actually frame that much more specific than most people frame it. A lot of times people frame it in a way that will go, well, they want to be friends. I don't want to be friends, but I don't want to lose them. So I put it in a frame that's more understandable, but that's what I meant by it. And I would say these are probably the most common questions I come across after doing 1 hour or 2 hours of breakup coaching. And at the end, I'll be like, is there any questions you have for me? The other question I ask, is this useful or helpful? And if they say no, I say, I'll give you a full refund. Hasn't happened yet. So will they forget me? Will they come back? What are my chances? And if you have a question, please put it in the comments down below. And what I will actually do with this live stream is I'll come back to it. And this week when I have my scheduled live streams, I'll unpack the idea of another question that maybe I'm overlooking. He's 41 as well, doesn't respond back to my calls, plays video games, and his mind acts like he's still a teenager because he was in a car wreck when he was younger. So if you met him and he was already acting this way, you accepted those things, hoping that they would change. And the bottom line is when you accept things in the beginning, you set terms and expectations. So what you accept up front will be what happens later on. And he's probably going to say to you, well, you have a problem with me playing video games. I played video games when we first met. So why is it a problem now? Video games, there's a lot of adults that play video games. I don't think that it's not something I like to do. I've actually had friends before like, hey, man, you got to try this video game. I'm like, I'm not into it. I wouldn't even entertain it. That doesn't mean I think people are immature or act like teenagers that play video games in their 40s because, you know, it's entertainment, right? It's interactive. Not responding back to my calls, I would need to know specifically what you mean by that. But I have heard a correspondence of people in relationships with people that are into video games, or maybe they call themselves gamers, and they do respond late to texts and calls because they're playing, 3-4 hours of video games. I've heard that from other clients before. His mind acts like he's still a teenager because he was in a car wreck. So connecting that to the car wreck, I don't know. Is that something the doctor said? Are you saying that he's a bit slow? Again, Mary, you accept what you want to accept. You're probably not going to change the fact that he loves video games. Does he have a problem with it himself? Those are good questions to ask yourself. Does anyone have a read on this? Because I'm only going to be on about another 10 minutes. This is going to be a short live stream today. I might come back on later on. Does anyone have an idea what you think would be, put it in the comments below, what do you think would be the most common or most asked breakup question I get as a breakup coach? What do you think is the most common one? Will my ex come back? How do I get my ex back is one that I would think. If I hadn't done this for so long, I'd say how do I get my ex back would be number one. But actually, after a coaching session and unpacking these, it's going to surprise you what I say it is. And I would say, gosh, it's got to be like 1 out of 5, 1 out of 4 people always ask us at the end of a coaching session. Any idea, Mary Clark, Zuki, the 8 on deck? Thanks for the likes out there, folks. I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you do and watching the channel. But does anyone have a thought on what you think it is? Lou Boo 1K. My ex came back when she decided to say that she will unblock me when she wants me. I don't know if that qualifies as coming back. That seems like that's on her terms, and that seems like something that would be like friends with benefits. My ex came back when she decided to say that she will unblock me when she wants me. Is that coming back, or is that saying when it's convenient, when I want you, when I want some intimacy, I'll unblock you, and then you have an opportunity to see me? Seems pretty good for them. I'm sitting in the car next to my ex, and we're listening to you, and she doesn't know what to reply to you. Zuki 818. It's funny that I'm sitting with my ex and she's talking about her man or the low-hanging fruit and she wants to get him back. I keep telling her she's wasting her time. So you're with your ex who's talking about her ex. So she's, wow, that's interesting, Zuki. Do you like being in that position? It's funny that I'm here sitting with my ex. She's talking about her man or the low-hanging fruit. She wants to get him back. I keep telling her she's wasting her time. So are you guys friends now? Are you a confidant to her, or what's your role? Why is she coming to you asking you for relationship advice when you guys broke up already? Fair question. I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. I mean, if I had an ex come back to me at this point, and people have asked me this before, like, oh, would you hook up? Would you do this? If I had an ex come back to me and they were in a new relationship, and I'm talking about an ex that was from 10 years ago or 15 years ago or 8 years ago, and they asked me for some advice or they asked me what my take was, I'd give it to them. A fresh breakup, someone that I still maybe had a little bit of feelings for in that regard, no. I laugh about it. Any take, Zuki, on what you think is the most asked question that I get out of those that I mentioned? Again, will they forget me? Will they come back? What are my chances? Should I wish them happy birthday? I want to write a letter. Is that okay? If not, their friend on their terms, will I lose them? She said that she doesn't want any relationship. Well, there's your answer. Did you get her back then? That's a really good question, because people are like, oh, my ex came back. A lot of times I'm like, because they called you, because you hooked up. I don't know if it qualifies that your ex came back, because to me, if your ex came back, they're all in. They came back for a cup of coffee. They came back for some intimacy. They came back for some kissing. They came back to borrow a couple bucks. What's your opinion on using the manifestation techniques to get an ex back? That's actually a really good question, Victor. And I think I would do that as a topic for another live stream. My short answer, because I mean, we can unpack that a lot. And full disclosure, I think there are some manifestation techniques out there that I think are useful and helpful in getting things you want in your life. And I think they certainly can't hurt you. Where it gets a little bit gray for me with an ex is, are you manifesting something that's not good for you because you broke up for a reason? Secondly, I feel like if someone doesn't want you and they're another individual spirit or human being, and that might sound a little bit deep, I don't think if you believe in manifesting things that you can just turn around someone's personality. I do believe if you envisioned a goal regularly, or you did regular affirmations, that you will enhance your chances of possibly reaching that goal. And let me give you an example. Like if you wanted a red Corvette from the 1960s or something like that, right? It's very specific. A red Corvette has no feelings. It has no free will. And so you probably, by looking at that car on a vision board and saying, I, Mac McCarthy, will have a 1965 red Corvette this year. If you do those kinds of things, right, and you envision it before you go to bed every night, I think you're going to make it much more possible to get that red Corvette, because what you're doing is you're instilling in your brain the idea that it's already there. I think there's some power to that. The idea that your ex, who has a problem with you, is going to come back, I think that's conflicting when it becomes one of these things. If you were manifesting meeting a person with certain qualities and certain looks, I think that would be much more possible than the idea of just getting your ex back, because your ex, this is why I need to know your full story, right? Your ex has feelings and free will that override you manifesting and getting something like that, in my book. Does that make sense, Victor? Lou Book, I got her back. And then she said sorry and said, how did you get her back if she's saying I'll unblock you when I want to see you? That sounds like she came back to hook up on her terms when she wants it. She's setting the rules. I mean, and said she doesn't want a relationship and said she will unblock me when she wants me. Okay, you said that already, right? Does that qualify as getting someone back? Not in my book. Hi, Coach Mac. Just stopped by to drop my like. And hi. Thanks, Derek D. Love you, bud. You might manifest an encounter, but you can't impose that on someone free will. Exactly what Derek. I agree with Derek D. I agree. I don't have a problem with manifestation and techniques. Some of the shit is highly woo-woo, but there are things, affirmations and vision. I use some of this stuff with myself, with my own goals. But the idea of turning around an ex that hates you, or you cheated on, or has some strong negative feelings towards you, I don't think it's that simple. Lisa Castillo, is it possible that my guy ghosted me without any real reason because he thinks I deserve better, or is too scared of real feelings? Lisa Castilla, I would need to know your full story to give you a take on that. That's a interesting question, but without more details, I would just be shooting piston in the wind. I would say that, if someone's going to ghost you, there is a reason. Whether they're being honest about that reason, I don't know. But to not have a reason at all, most likely no. For someone to ignore another person or to ghost them, they have a reason. It's usually that they're upset with you and they don't feel like they are going to be able to communicate their feelings, or they want to avoid a confrontation. If he thinks you deserve better, that's an interesting thing to unpack, or is too scared of real feelings. Those are two different things. I got a new girlfriend because I had a feeling that my bipolar girl wouldn't get anyway in life. I hear a lot of people, did you diagnose her as being bipolar, or did a doctor actually do that? Would be my first question. Secondly, people that are with someone that has an ailment, like, I don't even know if you'd call it an ailment or a mental disorder, possibly, of bipolar, that's a choice. So when you get negative, or you think to yourself, oh, I have to deal with all these things, if you've never been with someone like that, or you haven't had a friend like that, or someone in your past, it's going to be very hard for you to be understanding and compassionate to them. And it wouldn't be a bad thing to go, I have enough problems in my life to deal with someone that is literally hot and cold, up and down and all around, and they need maybe professional help. And probably the best thing for someone like that to do is to be an individual and not have to carry around the anchor of a relationship when they're facing a serious mental disorder. Coach Mac, I have a strong feeling for this girl, but we come from different backgrounds and culture. I've already failed doing interfaith relationship before. How do I deal with this? I think you've sent me messages before. I think at this point, Sarabah, I would highly recommend that you do a live coaching session. If you have trouble understanding, my current site's working, but we're working out some kinks. It's all new. So here's my email. And when I give you that email, Sarabah, that's not for free. That's to give you more details if you want to do a live coaching session. I think we're at a point now, because you've asked some similar questions in the live stream, which I don't mind, and I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you being in the live stream. But you've been circling the wagons on the same topic and having trouble moving forward. I would highly recommend that you invest in doing a live coaching session. Did someone say kinks? What would you, working the kinks out? Is that inappropriate? How are you, Fun Schwa? I got a new website, and I'm getting organized this week. I have 5 committed times, dates, and topics for next week posted on my Instagram. Coach, this is a new girl, so you have a new girl with the same problem. Interesting. But we come from different backgrounds and culture. So why are you coming across the same problem all over again? To me, when I've been in relationships where I broke up, a lot of times I find that the next person I'm with is very different than the person I was previously with, because I go to myself, wow, it's so nice that this person is this way, because the last person I was with for a few years was the total opposite. I'm over the past relationship. I'll get in touch. Sounds good, bud. Sounds good. Or at least write your story about this new one, because I was just thinking talking about the past one again. And please, everyone, if you want to visit rightmac.com, check out my Instagram also, Coach Mac McCarthy, which will have a schedule of my live stream. So we're going to definitely have more people on deck. We're getting organized here at rightmac.com. I got 20 videos I made this month. That's why I haven't been on the live streams as much. And there's going to be a video up on YouTube each day. And guess what? Are you ready for the 11 on deck? I have on-location videos on the beach in Thailand, in the jungle in Thailand. People have been asking me this. This is where I live. And so I've done some videos. I've done some quick videos. I've done some different stuff. And so there'll be a lot more stuff that'll be outside of the office. Next week, yep, on location, hon. And what I did is we did like 20 videos. That's why I've been off the live stream for a little bit. I'm regrouping here, and I'm committing more time to the relationship, higher quality production. I've already got new mics. We're going to have Jessica on again next week, which a lot of people liked on the live stream, a female perspective, and I'll have other people on the show. I'm over the past relationship. I'll get in touch. That's outstanding. Rob will be there soon. I asked my new girlfriend for dinner that lives an hour away from me. She said she's going to take a train to see me. How should I talk to a girl that I first meet? I'm not understanding your question. I'm sorry. Can you rephrase that? Oh, good. Consider finding what programs the tarot readers use for scheduling their tarot stuff. You could use the same software for your private coaching sessions. Thanks, Francois. I'm actually creating my writemac.com website to be a profile, a place that you could put your profile if you want to be a breakup coach. My ex won't commit to getting back together. We've been hanging out for 6 months. Now confused what to do moving forward. If your ex won't get back together, number one, accept that. Dated for 2 years before. Trust is the reason she doesn't want to get back together. Well, wouldn't you agree that trust is, paramount in a real relationship? You got trust on a scale of 1 to 10. What's your trust and what's her trust? On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your attraction and intimacy level? On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your connection and chemistry level? If I had to guess, you're highly attracted to her still. You feel like you have a good connection, but someone doesn't trust someone. And so you can't rebuild trust in a day or a week or even a month. Looking forward to see the new productions. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. A lot of sun. I'll tell you that much. All right, folks, I do have to go. I will be back on deck soon. I will be back on deck tomorrow. And like I said, I do have it scheduled on Instagram. If you want to go to Coach Mac McCarthy Instagram, join up with that. I'm going to be posting more and more stuff. I got pictures. All the pictures are on there. What's up, Wendy Dawn? How are you? It's been a while, huh? And the time that I will be on most of next week will be about 25 minutes prior to this, which is 10:30 a.m. for me. How should I treat a girl that I first meet in person that kind of is long distance? Have fun. Be in the present moment. Don't make a big deal out of it. I'm not sure what long distance or any of that shit has to do with a date. A date's a date. Have a good time. Be present. Listen to the individual you're on the date with and be interested in what they're talking about. And if you're not, realize that it's probably not for you. But to make it a bigger deal than it needs to be is not good. I'm doing good. Hope you're doing well. I'm outstanding, Wendy Dawn. Thanks for asking. All right, folks, I do have to go. Check out the Instagram and the new site. Like I said, it's still a work in progress, but it's moving leaps and bounds and greatness. All right, folks, I'll see you. Catch you tomorrow.